Lovely, welcome back to Elden Ring. To save myself some time when I do item locations in Farum Azula, I'm going to show people how to reach there right now. I'm aware that there are currently glitches in the game that allow you to get there early. I will not be covering those. I don't cover glitches, especially ones that are going to get patched, or have the potential to be patched. I've been burnt by that once already, and I refuse to do it again. I also know that there is a tower over in the Four Belfries that will take you over to, when you zoom in, this little island right here. Gives you a rather useless talisman. You guys can grab that if you want to, but that's also what we are not going to be covering. Instead then, what you actually need to do to get over here is you need to have defeated the fire giant. This does involve quite a lot of the game being done. This is an end game zone after all. I don't need to walk you through all of that. Just bear in mind that you will need to have passed through the capital Leyndell, and then you'll need to be working your way around a lot of the snow area. Cool thing about this is though, a lot of what you see up here is actually optional. You won't actually need to go to Castle Sol or the Haley Tree, for example, even if I do recommend that you do that. Either way, once you've beaten the fire giant, what we need to do is head on up here to where we can see the grace. Now, as you guys can see, I have already interacted with this, and your interactions with this grace may be different depending upon what you have been doing during your playthrough. Fair warning at this point, before you interact with the grace up here, I heavily recommend that you make sure you have all of the quest lines that you want to have done close to done, and that you have looted everything that you want out of the capital of Leyndell. If you don't do this, you will get covered in ash, and you won't be able to progress anything in there. Things of note that I can think of that are particularly important is progressing Corin's questline. If you don't know, you will need to use, and I can't remember the name of it now, I think it's regression at a statue that is quite close to the Godfrey boss room. I already have, well, I will soon have a video covering all of Corin's questline anyway. In addition to that is the Bolt of Gransack's weapon, which you need to get the legendary weapons trophy. So those are probably the two main things that I would say are essential before you interact. I don't know why I'm walking this. Before you interact with this grace that we are coming up to right now. Now, it may not actually trigger everything just by interacting with the grace, but I'm just saying this to be as cautious as I can be before you guys start doing this, and then your capital is buried in ash and you can no longer interact with half of your stuff over here. Once you reach this grace then, depending on what you have done, you'll have a couple of options down here. Either Melina will appear to you and ask you if you want to burn the tree, or you'll have listened to the sounds of flame, or some other such interaction that you can make, and you'll have a nice cool cutscene, which again, I won't be spoiling here. Once that's done, and unfortunately I can't get to exactly where you guys will spawn, but I will get to where you will drop off to. Okay then, so once you've watched your cool looking cutscene, you will be spawned at the top of that bridge that you can see just there. You'll also likely notice that at that point you cannot fast travel. This is classed as one of the traps, and so you'll need to have rested at a grace, which is why we're still continuing this video. You'll need to come across the bridge here, then you'll have a drop down, which will land you exactly where I am now. It's all pretty linear, so it shouldn't be too confusing. From here, we just need to come on down the road. You don't necessarily need to fight everything in these rooms. Only 3 or 4 of these enemies that we have here should aggro on you naturally, and the rest you can pretty much ignore. And then all we need to do, continue going through, and on that left hand turn we see coming up right here, you'll be able to take a rest. And now you'll be able to come and go from Faram Azula as and when you please. Hopefully that helps you guys out. This should save me some time when it comes to just doing item locations for Faram Azula, and I'll see you all in the next video.